Hi, and welcome to another video by Jimthecarguy. Today I want to show you a light that was sent to me by a company called Thrunite. Now you've seen on my channel before, I put videos up for this company before, and to be very truthful with you, I do like their products. Their products are exactly as they say it's supposed to be. You know how sometimes you order something, you get the product in the mail or it comes to your home or whatever, you open it up and there's nothing like the description that they told you about. This company is not like that. This company, when they give you the description of the product, it is exactly as they say it's supposed to be. And I'm going to prove that to you today with a couple of different things. This light here, I do like this. It's a little different than the other lights that I put on my channel through this company here. The other lights that I've had, I will put a link up above someplace in here so you could check them out. Those lights were actually fairly bright. They projected a fairly wide beam over a long area so you can illuminate the area you'd like to. This one's a little bit different. This one projects a beam and it'll go probably, I think it's almost 600 meters it'll travel, and it's a very distinct beam, so that if you needed to see something on the far side of a couple of hundred feet or a couple of hundred yards away, you can actually have that beam and follow it across. Now I am going to First thing we're going to do is we're going to talk about the product itself here. We're going to give a little bit of a description of it. We are going to take it, and they say it's waterproof, not water resistant. It's waterproof up to 2 meters. So we're going to take it into our work area over here, and we're going to throw the light in the water, and we're going to leave it sit there for, I don't know, 15 minutes or so, and we'll see what what kind of an issue, if any, it has. It does say it's waterproof, so we're going to make sure that it's waterproof. The light itself, let me just tell you some facts about the light itself. The light itself, it actually has a couple of different settings. It has turbo, high, medium, low, and what's called firefly. Firefly is like a flickering type thing that it does, and it also has a strobe as well. Now when you have it on turbo, it'll actually be 680 luminance, which is actually fairly bright, and it'll run at that for 70 minutes. On high, it's 235 lumens, and it'll run for 80 minutes, and then so on down to the medium. It'll be 4 hours. The low, it'll be 12 hours, and it's 21 luminance at low and 96 luminance on high. Now it does say, like I said, it's impact resistant, 1.5 meters. That's probably the height of the average person. If they were to drop it, they could see if you're holding it in your hand and you accidentally drop it on the floor, but you could actually drop it and see if it holds up under that. Now it does tell you that the maximum distance is 598 meters. So we're gonna take it out back. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm going to take you out onto the back of property over here, and I'm going to show you from the back of my property across to the other side how far it is in the daylight, and then I'm going to show you the exact same thing at night when it's pitch black. We'll go back there with the light, and we'll project that beam across, and we'll see how far it actually goes. I did already see how this works, so it does produce a very, very distinct beam, which is very defined to the location you want it to be concentrated on. All right, so this is the light here. It's called a Thrunite. It's called a Thrunite Catapult Mini, and it's kind of different. I'm going to bring it on. I'll show you what I mean. It's different how the face of this is different than most other flashlights. I don't know if you can see that, but you see how that it's very deep inside there where the beam is. It looks like it's probably, I don't know, half an inch deep where the beam comes out of, which makes that a very defined beam when you put it across a distance to see the other side. All right, so again, this is the unit itself here. It's fairly small, fairly compact. It does have a little rubber piece on the side right here. I'll bring it in and show you. It does have a little rubber piece on the side right here that you just peel it away like this, and you put your charging device in there, which it does come with the charging cable. All right, and this will keep the water out, hopefully. This is the switch to turn it on. You just turn it on. Oh, I will tell you this, when you get this light, the light itself, you need to rotate it to make sure it's tight before you try and turn it on, because if you try to turn it on, it's not going to work. Okay, so now we have it tightened up. We're going to turn the light on. You can see it's a blue glow, so you know that the light is on. I'm not going to try to blind you, but I'm going to point it at the lens right now, so be ready. That is the light itself. These are the different settings. That's the low, medium, and high. And that's what they call turbo. As you can see, that's really, really bright. Okay, so this is the company itself. I hope you can see that okay. This is the company itself. This is the unit. All right, well, enough talking. What we're going to do next is we're going to take this light. We're going to go drop it in the bucket of water, and we'll let it sit for about 15 minutes. And once it sits for about 15 minutes, we'll come back and we'll take a look at it and make sure it's still in the on position, is still working the way it's supposed to. So come on, take a walk, and we're going to drop this in the bucket of water. Okay, so here's our bucket of water. Let's turn it on. We'll drop it in there, and we'll come back in about 15 minutes. Now it's exactly 3:43, so let's come back about 4 o'clock, and we'll make sure it's on. All right, so let's come back in about 15 minutes. So that's it's still on the way they say it's supposed to. And what I like too is if you look in the water right here, you'll notice that there's no bubbles coming up from the light itself. If it was leaking any place internally or water was getting into it, you would see bubbles coming up too, and there is no bubbles. The only bubbles here are the bubbles that are stuck on the outside of the light itself. All right, so that's the let's make sure all of our other settings still work. Yep, nice and bright. All right, let's dry it off, and we'll go back and I'll take you in the garage and I'll show you what it looks like in the garage. Okay, so now here we are in my garage. Let's turn it on. Let's turn that light off. Okay, that's the light on the low setting. That's medium. Let's put it back there with a... Okay, that's the high. And now we'll do the turbo. And that's the turbo. And you can see it's a very distinct beam. Now we're going to do the other thing, which is called firefly. Okay. So now I'm going to show you what it looks like in the daylight with the, just walking the area where I'll take you out later on with the flashlight, and we'll see how far it projects across. Now this is the back of the property, and as you can see from one side to the other, it's quite a distance. All right, so later on we'll come out here when it's dark, and we'll take the light, we'll shine it across, and we'll be able to see how far across that beam of light can travel. And again, it's quite a distance, as you can see, to that riverbed down there. Now this is the side where we were looking back when we first walked to the back of the property. And as you can see, or you will in just a minute anyway, that's the first the second and the third adjustment for the brightness. And that's to the fence line. Now we'll walk to the back of the property and I'll show you from the fence line down to that riverbed and then across to the other side, so you'll have an idea of just how far that beam can actually go. Okay, so as you can see, it is fairly dark out here, and now this is the light on the first setting, and then we'll go from the low setting to the high setting. Okay, that's the beam. See it right here, and it kind of fades away, and you can see it out a little bit. This is the medium setting. And that's the high setting. And as you can see, the high setting, it does go all the way across. You can see it a couple of 100 yards out that way there. Leads right here and all the way across there. That's the low, medium, high. Okay. And right here I'm following the riverbed with the light, so you can see that that beam is very defined, and it goes pretty far right up the riverbed all the way to the very edge. Okay, so as you can see, it's pretty good. Now you saw in the back how that projected the beam all the way across. It is pretty good. I do use this quite a bit actually whenever I take my dogs outside, because at night down in the back over there we have a lot of different animals down there. We have foxes, we have skunks, we have raccoons, you name it, we have it back there. And of course we have a lot of deer. So you know what, I'm going to put a little thing on this video here to show you what is actually in the back there. So that's why this comes in really handy when I take my dogs out there in the dark to see what's back there before we go walking around in the backyard. Put a a link down below so you could take a look at this. I'm going to add this to my Amazon store as well. You'll be very happy. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I believe this light here was under 50 bucks. I'm thinking it was like 40 some odd dollars. But I will put the link down below. You can take a look at it if it suits your needs. And if you do buy it, let me know what you think of it, if it lives up to your expectations. Now, this is not made of plastic. This is made of metal. The entire light itself is made of metal. It's not plastic, which is unlike a lot of them. Now, if you needed to, you could unscrew it, take it apart, and you can replace just the battery if you needed to. I've had this one now for a couple of weeks, and I think I charged it. I use it just about every night, and I charged it one time, and I have not charged it since. So I'll be curious to see how it actually holds up. Now, I will in the future give you an update on all of my lights that I got from this company here, Thrunite. I will, as you know, I think I got probably like 4 or 5 different lights. I will keep you posted and let you know what I think of them and how durable they hold up for the period of time that they're supposed to. And then don't forget, hit the like, subscribe, hit that bell down the bottom for notifications so you'll get all of my latest videos whenever I upload them. All right, as always, thanks for watching. See you on the next one.